All right, another question that I asked the AI is, what is computational thinking and why is it being taught? Now, Bart's response was quite frankly not very good, but at the beginning it says, quote, computational thinking is a problem-solving approach that uses abstraction, decomposition, pattern recognition, algorithms, and evaluation. It is a way of thinking that can be used to solve problems in any domain, not just computer science, end quote. That is a very generic, high-level statement on what computational thinking is, but the rest of the responses, quite frankly, didn't really do a great job explaining it. So let's go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT describes computational thinking as, quote, a problem-solving approach inspired by the principles used in computer science. It involves breaking down complex problems into smaller, more manageable components, formulating algorithms or step-by-step procedures to solve them, and utilizing logical and systematic thinking to arrive at solutions. Computational thinking encompasses a set of skills and strategies that are transferable across various domains, not just limited to computer science, end quote. Then it goes on to say, well, here are some of the main aspects of computational thinking. There's decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, algorithmic design, algorithmic evaluation. And that is being taught in schools because it helps with problem-solving skills, because of digital literacy and technological understanding, because it helps prepare for future careers, because of critical and logical thinking, because of creativity and innovation, integration with core subjects, and future-proofing students. Again, with all of these, there's a paragraph for each one of those things that I just quickly read off, and you can read the whole thing in the show notes. Computational thinking is one of those terms that so many people just get really uptight about. They have their one way of understanding this term, and it's likely not in alignment with everybody else's understanding of that term. Because of that, there's just constant butting of heads back and forth. Well, what is it? Is it thinking? Is it a literacy? Is it a set of tools? Is it a process? Is it a framework? Blah, 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 blah. And because there's really no one consensus on this, I'm curious if your understanding of computational thinking aligned with either Bard's short definition or ChatGPT's definition, as well as the different aspects of computational thinking. What was left out? Or what was included that you're yeah, that totally aligns, or I disagree with that. Now, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper with this idea of computational thinking. So I asked the AI to list 5 examples of computational thinking. And in this scenario, Bard actually did better with this. So thank you, Bard. I appreciate you. Please spare me when you take over the world. So here's an example. Decomposition, quote, breaking down a problem into smaller, more manageable steps. For example, if you were trying to program a robot to walk, you might break the problem down into steps like moving the legs, moving the arms, and balancing the body, end quote. Now, these examples are provided for pattern recognition, abstraction, algorithms, and evaluation. So if you want to see what the examples are for each one of those, they're actually pretty decent. ChatGPT also provided some good examples of computational thinking. So saying creating a recipe, solving a Sudoku puzzle, planning a route, developing an app, or conducting data analysis. And so for each one of these, they list a sentence or two kind of explaining how each one of those examples is an example of computational thinking according to our future AI overlords. This excerpt of the CSK8 podcast is from episode 191, which is titled The Future of Education According to AI. You can listen to the full episode as well as hundreds more by simply searching for the CSK8 podcast on your favorite podcast app or by going to jaredoleary.com.